This video involves ding-dongs and nudity and RVs. And what more could you ask for to have a good time on the internet? I never address the potential pet that I may still get. There are a lot of challenges involved in that, which we will discuss on here. But first, ding-dongs. Back around my birthday in July, I've been trying to find new activities to get involved in so that my whole life isn't about work and real estate. And there's this woman who runs a summer camp for kids, not adults, for kids, but I talked her into letting me go. And they take the horses, they go horseback riding, and they go out into the intercoastal and they go swimming. And I couldn't just be normal about that and just go and play with all the other kids. I made it about the Olympics and tried to stick the landing on top of a very rude mare, and this is how it ended. But I did like the horseback riding thing, like that seemed fun. So I'm now enrolled in horsemanship for women. Every Tuesday night, we go down to the barn and learn how to deal with these majestic unicorns. Well, in week 2, we had a farrier come, and a farrier is the guy or woman who puts the horseshoes on the horse. So we learned how and why some horses get shoes and others don't, and then how to put them on and take them off and all this other stuff. And she asked me if I would please hold the horse. This is a stallion. He's a big boy. Hold him while they do the next phase of the care for that day. And that involved manually cleaning the stallion's ding-dong. This is a thing. It's a big thing. I guess because they can't do it on their own? I don't know, but stallions and geldings, which is a male horse that they've cut his balls off, they get, like, I guess, gunk up in there, and it's called a bean, and it will harden this rock in said ding-dong and cause him all sorts of pain and discomfort. So I am holding Stallion's head, and I'm trying to whisper positive affirmations to let him know that he is beautiful and wonderful, and like make sure that he is not startled by what is about to go down around that area, but also make sure that he doesn't enjoy it too much, because we are in a fragile situation. So that's what we learned how to do. We've not gotten on the horses yet, but I guess to earn a horse's trust, you need to learn how to do that. My horses will not, I'm not doing that. I will either hire someone to do that, I will either train him to do it himself, or I will get him a lady horse to do it for him, but I'm not getting involved in that. That's too much. So that's been fun. All right, let's talk about the pet. I have wanted this beast for a very long time, but it's never really worked out. Have you ever seen a Sphinx? They're the naked cats. Well, when I worked in TV news in Charlotte, there was a breeder there, and she called her, I don't know, breeding operation the nudist colony, and she bred nothing but naked cats. They're like touching a suede couch. They have this sort of peach fuzz, and they are very, very friendly because they're always cold. So they try to like snuggle up on you. And I think because they know they're a little hideous looking, so they've got to overcompensate. We did a story on her about hypoallergenic pets. I am not allergic to animals, but I don't like animal hair in the house. I find that appalling. It totally grosses me out when I go, and there's just hair everywhere. I won't do it. And since I don't have children, I can have nice things like white couches. I have 2 white couches. My bedspread is white. The curtains are white. I don't want animal hair on any of that. So this was like the perfect pet for me because it would snuggle and it's naked and I wouldn't have to like pick up fur, and they're just so wonderful looking. It looks like a dragon, and that's what I want. I want to perch it up on my shoulder and have this personal dragon. And I thought, oh, I could take him to work with me and all this stuff. Anyway, years ago I came up with a name for him. It's got to be a boy. Female cats can be like females everywhere. Bingo Wing. A bingo wing is when big ladies playing bingo, when they shake their card, it's this thing that flaps around down here, and that's perfect because he's all wrinkly and rolling. So his name is going to be Bingo Wing. my naked Sphinx. First problem was they cost about $2,000. Now that was a huge problem in TV news because we don't make any money in TV news. And now it's a problem because all my money is going into this RV that's going to be here in 2 months. So that was the first hang up. But I had this whole vision for Bingo Wing. I found these outfits that spoke to my soul. Now, I do not think that dressing up babies is fun, but look at these shirts. This is some woman on Etsy, and she makes these snarky, mean Sphinx shirts. Every day, I just envision my closet with like little tiny hangers where we would just get dressed for the day, and then I'd put him in one of those like baby Bjorns, those like weird wrap things where you don't ever have to touch your kid, you just like suck him to your body, and walk him around with his shirt and with his big jowls and his mean ass. Take him to showings. I had this idea for a billboard where I found a little suit and tie for him. And then I would get a suit and tie, and we would go into an attorney's office and we'd take a photo together, like put the real estate law books, stack them up, and he'd be on one side and I'd be on the other. And like he'd put his paw on there and I'd put my hand on there. And we would call it, Casey Roman and Bingo Wing Attorney at Fur. And I could just see that over the skyline in Wilmington, just me angry looking like I normally look, and then my scary little dragon in his little attorney outfit. And we passed this idea around my office and it just got crazy, but it got wonderful crazy. The next idea was that real estate agents who cannot see enough pictures of themselves ever, that we would do a calendar, because real estate agents make calendars of themselves, which is odd. It's very odd, but they do it. And then they give them out to their clients and mail them out to people, blah, 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 blah. So we were going to make a calendar, like firemen have calendars, like sexy firemen, like New York Fire Department, like, that. Real estate agents have calendars. So what we would do, rather than make it about me, we're going to take Bingo Wing with his very naked self, and I was gonna take him to all the different fire stations and pose him seductively, like tiny hairless balls out, like slunched up against the fire truck or like leaning up against the pole, and do 12 months, and that would be the calendar. Bingo Wing, Attorney at Fur, Casey Roman Real Estate, here's your I don't know how that could fail. And then the last idea I had, which was my personal favorite, is they're very active. They have to be active because they need to keep their metabolism up to stay warm, hence the outfits. The last idea I had was that I don't like those like cat condo things that are wrapped in carpet. They just look very tacky. I don't want that. So my vision was to find someone to build me, not like a high rise, but a building that had windows that were blacked out, like a strip club. And then put a neon flashing sign on top of it that like made that like zzz, zzz, that old school neon. And it would say live nudes. And so he could use that as a scratch post. Like I'll put the little pieces of carpet on it. So you just have Bingo Wing like stretching and scratching up on his strip club live nudes, and put that right in my window so that all my neighbors can see it. Just this naked cat rubbing up against the live nudes. But these are the things I think about when I'm alone in my truck. So this was my whole big vision. The hang up here is that I really do need to dedicate all my funds to the RV. Although once I have the RV, he would have a climate controlled vessel to drive around in. And I just thought it would be just so much fun for me and my clients and like the internet, obviously. The lecture I got on Patreon and then at the animal shelter was, they said, it sounds like you kind of want him to be your sidekick in business. And that most people get a pet because they want something to love on. And I was like, okay, so if I just broke up with my boyfriend and had a hole in my soul, you would let me adopt an animal, but not to go get Bingo Wing and let him live his best life as an internet sensation and a local celebrity. Okay, so we'll see. The other hang up is that because they're naked, they leave like a grease stain. I'm not kidding. This is real. Think of it this way, if you didn't shower for a couple days and you went and like sat down on your couch, you would be grimy. You would be grimy, absolutely. It's no different with animals, but the difference is that animals have such thick fur that their fur sort of absorbs the oils or they lick it off, and so you don't really experience their grime that much. With a naked cat, they get grimy and they will leave like literally a grease stain on your furniture. And like I just told you that I have all white furniture. Now, one of my girlfriends pointed out that Bingo Wing will be such a star and such an internet sensation that if I need to buy a new couch every 2 weeks, it won't matter because he will have paid his way. And if that's true, then I'm willing to do that. And who doesn't want to go couch shopping every 2 weeks? But they have to wear those outfits, one, to keep warm, and two, it kind of like absorbs their grease. Otherwise, you bathe them pretty regularly. You wipe them down with like a baby wipe. That part didn't bother me because I actually bathed the only cat that I've ever owned on now he hated it. But Bingo Wing would just have to get used to it. But I could totally see it, like me in my Tinkerbell bathrobe with my hair in a top knot and like, you know, washing my face at night. And then obviously I would get him his own matching Tinkerbell bathrobe. Duh. And him in his bathrobe or his jammies, because obviously he'd need jammies to stay warm at night. And his maybe like a little spa headband. And I just wipe him down and like wipe my makeup all off, and we would just have a good life together. So it may not be a thing for a while, but that is the pet that is like kind of an ongoing plan that now that I'm not in an RV can actually be more of a reality than it's been before. Having a cat in an RV, I'm so glad that I didn't do that because I can't stand the smell of nasty litter boxes. And while you can be very diligent with a litter box, if you have more space and windows and like full HVAC ventilation system, it's going to be far better than if you're in an RV and there's no major like duct system, or the temperature control in an RV is really difficult and expensive. So it can be more of a thing now, but it's not necessarily something that I can afford right now. So we'll see. Or maybe we'll take up a collection for the Bingo Wing Fund. It would be amazing. We would all have a really good time, and he would live an anointed life. So that is sort of the current plan. The RV is going to be, it's here in 2 months. I have picked out, after much debate on Patreon, I have picked out a general design for it. And then we'll be hitting the road in a different capacity than we have in the past. And if all goes to hell, then we'll just move into it and hit the road like we did before. Lots of options. Maybe a naked cat in the picture, maybe not. Definitely not a horse. Not a horse with a nasty ding-dong. All right, weirdos, that's the update for this week. I'll see you later.